Hi, welcome to another episode of the Code Coder. I'm your mighty Code Coder. I want to make you great, help you innovate. Today we're going to do an episode on P5JS. So if you haven't noticed, we've been working with BuildBox, and you see BuildBox was written on top of JavaScript. And JavaScript's a great web language, and people are using it a lot. If you search the internet for the most popular language, JavaScript's always up there. So it's incumbent upon me to try to deliver JavaScript in the easiest way possible, and P5JS library, brought to you by Lauren McCarthy, is the best way. It's the way we're going to do it, and I want to give you an intro and an overview of it right now. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we have to have a text editor to edit in. Well, we don't really. Later on I'm going to show you a web editor we can do in, and then you can decide which one you want to use. All right, there's advantages and disadvantages to both. So let's first start with the web editor. The web editor I'm going to use to write P5JS is called Atom. So if I go ahead and command space Atom, there's Atom. Okay, and it'll open up your previous project. So I don't know what I have going here. It looks like nothing. Okay, nice. So I'll go ahead and minimize this for now, make it smaller. It has some things you can put together here. You can connect this to GitHub. You can, create some code completion. Here's the GitHub connections and whatnot. It's really, really developed, really nice to deal with. So what I want to do is create a new project. So I'm going to open a project, and on my desktop I have the P5 template. And so, well, I used to have the P5 template on my desktop. I guess it's just in here now. All right, so yeah, it's not even there. So I could actually go to the website and download it, which is probably what I should have showed you anyway, because there's multiple ways to do this. So let's go p5js.org, and they will let you go ahead and download this great library on your desktop. Download complete file, okay. And there it is. Shouldn't take too long to download. The advantage of building on top of JavaScript, you can still use all the regular JavaScript commands, and if you don't know all the JavaScript commands, you could learn it by going to a great spot like W3 Schools or Khan Academy, and you can learn JavaScript. But this library that Lauren put together extracted everything, made it easier to use so that it'd be more accessible to artists, designers, teachers, new students, whatnot. So this is it. So now it's downloaded, and I'm going to go ahead and close that, and I'm going to see what I download. There it is. So it shows it says P5.2, so which means it was downloaded before. So I don't know where or why, but it's not. So if I go ahead and now I'm an Atom, and I just basically, let's see, I want to go file, open, and I'm going to open that P5 on my desktop now. There it is, and open it. Basically what it does is it gives you a built-in template, okay? And I'm not sure why this is showing green, but let me set this up so everyone can see everything. Make sure Frank's not in the way, and Paul is here. And Paul now starts getting a little ornery with me. You notice if I'm not doing things right, he'll start barking. Yeah, so he's already scared that I can't get this right. So there, we'll go something like that. All right, so you have these sketches. So I'm going to go ahead and work in sketch.js. Okay, that's a JavaScript file. And most of the time you guys working with HTML5 are used to working with a JavaScript file, an HTML file, and a CSS file. And if you don't know what those means, don't worry about it. You don't need it right now where it's going to work with the JavaScript file. Okay? Yeah, I know, Paul. I'm trying to tell them that. I know they don't need to know all that stuff. All right, let's settle Paul down. He's getting a little ornery. I got to look this way to see him. Paul, why are you getting ornery? Man, you're getting mad. Why are you getting so red, my friend? Woo! All right. I'm not sure we're going to be able to finish this one. You don't know JavaScript at all. You don't know anything about it, so let's not ask or tell people anything. So yeah, all right. So now when we have this open, you'll see that you have, I'll pull down, you have two functions set up in your JS called a setup and a draw. The first one is just basically where you set up properties for the project. Initializers, there could be Siri's on my other computer is trying to talk. I don't know why. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Paul has the right look. All right. So he's worried about me doing these. He doesn't think I can put it all together. All right. So the first is set up. You set up some basic properties for your project. You could set up objects or classes there. Draw is going to be a loop that automatically comes in over and over. The first thing that you do in setup is you draw a canvas, and it's just a simple create canvas, and this will be synonymous. I'll try to tell you what's synonymous with P5 and what's synonymous with JavaScript in general, but I'm not really sure, so we'll just kind of go along like that. And if you work with this library, you'll just see it. You'll just love it, and you can do a lot of things with it. You can be very artistic, very creative, but you can do some pretty high-profile things too. I've done some pretty big algorithms in it, and it works and it's strong. All right, so if I create canvas, it's like a painter. You create go out, get your easel out, put your canvas on it. You have a blank slate. It's 640 by 480. Pretty easy, right? And if I want to go ahead and draw something, I can just easily draw ellipse. And it has 4 parameters. So let's go 50 by 50. And then let's go 80 by 80. This will just be a circle. All right. Now, if you notice the blue dot here, okay, see the blue dot up here? That means this file has not been saved. This is an Atom thing, okay? So if it hasn't been saved, therefore it won't render in a browser. Yeah, we're going to talk about a browser here. So I go Command S. I have to talk about a browser. Sorry. Okay, yeah. All right, so basically this will now render a web page, and so I have to actually run this at a web page. So I have to actually go back to a browser, and I've got to open it up. Okay, so let's open up my browser, put a new page, and in a browser you can always just open a web page by going File Open. All right, and you could drill down into that, and I'll go into my desktop and find that P5, and then go to my empty example and run the HTML page. So if I open it, you should see a circle. There it is. There's my circle. Now what I tell people to do is have this open, especially when you're working in Atom, and have a Finder window open if you're on a Mac. And people, whoa, I do not know what just happened there. Okay, yeah, sorry. Anyway, so what I tell students to do is click on this on one side, have a Finder window on the other side, so that you can just go ahead and click that folder. All right. Oh, I went into my downloads, and I didn't want to do that. So let's go back out here, and let's go to my desktop. Not sure how to maneuver without the little thing. So all right, so there you go there, and then here, and then yeah, there's index.html. So I'll pull that over and just have that showing, so I know I can always just click on that and restart it. Okay, just have those going, so I can just double click it and always go in here. All right, so there's my ellipse, and that just seems too big. So let's actually knock that down the size, put it right behind Paul. Paul, I get it. I get that you want to try to tell me how to do everything, but the fact of the matter is, my friend, you don't know any of this stuff. And so, yeah, thing. All right, so there's that. So if you go Command Tab on the keyboard, okay, so you see the Command Tab up there. I'm showing you what I'm hitting on my keyboard, and I'm hitting Tab, and it'll switch back to Atom. And yeah, so if you want to do Command Tab, I always call this left-handed curveball. Command Tab, Command Tab. and you go to and from. Okay, now it might be beneficial for us to actually go into the P5 library or the starter kit. So I'll go P5JS.org, and you see it has a nice little starter kit that you could have run some things to kind of get used to. So they have this first little project, which is kind of a I don't know, I call it the snake project, and it's right here. And if you wanted to, you could just copy and paste it, go back into Atom, just select everything and paste it in there. There's the blue dot again. Remember, it's not saved, so you have to save it, and then you can go back to your browser, refresh it, and now you got something else, and you have this deal. Okay, and so that little code is creating this little ellipse. And if I want it to be bigger, you see the edges here, 640 by 480, which used to be very common in web as a very normal view, which is strange. So I could actually make it bigger by maybe doing something like 1200 by 800. And I'm not sure if that's a normal resolution either. Let's save it, Command S saving it, and then Command R refreshes it. You see now I have a big easel. Okay, and every time I refresh, it'll start over. And then if I just do this, it'll do a white circle. The fill is 0. Okay, so if I go to Atom, you'll see that the fill is 0. But if it's pressed, I can actually add. Actually, if it's not pressed, it'll be fill 255. If the mouse is pressed, it'll be fill 0, which is black. All right, so if I click down now, I go black. And again, refreshing it. And I like just doing really tight circles, and the stroke makes it a little darker. And you can see it's very artistic, right? And then I can do bigger circles, and it gets lighter, so you got some 3D effect going on there. It looks like a snake. That's why I call this a snake project. Very nice, right? Okay, so very easy. So, you can see why it's very, very easy to attract artists and students. They'll sit there and color this like crazy. If you want to go in and change the fill, you could actually, 255 0. This would be red, and I could say, okay, if it's pressed, if it's not pressed, be red. If it is pressed, or if it's not pressed, hit make it green. So you could put colors in the fills, and so now it becomes really colorful. Okay, my red doesn't come through when I stream. Look at that red. I shouldn't do it red. Let's not do it red. Let's do it blue. So let's make that 0 and that 255. Remember, colors go from 0 to 255, or there's 256 different colors. All right, so 0, 255 is 256. So RGB, if you have this all the way turned on, and this, it'll be red. If you have this all the way turned on, it'll be green, and this one, it'll be blue. And if you have something in between, like let's say I do something like this, 50, and let's just do a little bit of red. Let's do 10. It'll be a different color. So here we go, and I'll refresh it, and yeah, there you go. So a little different color, blue. All right, and green if it's not. All right, so that's a snake project, and that's a great way to start this whole project. But what I find is a lot of kids start, Paul, you're getting angry again. You want me to show the web editor? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show them the web editor right now. Yeah. Okay. So there's a great way to start. Basically, kids working with all these files, the Atom file, and then with the files here, they sometimes start losing themselves. They don't understand the whole file structure. And that's the problem with HTML. I've taught a high-level web development class, and files get lost with kids and any web developer. It's not just kids. Anyone coming into the digital world, they really start losing their files, and that's a problem. So what's great about P5 is they actually made a web editor. And what's so great about a web editor? No files. But even better, students could use their Chromebooks, and they don't need, or their iPads, and they don't need the computer. Okay, big overblown computer. And if you're anything like my school, where we're 1-to-1, they have Chromebooks, so they don't need your computers. If your network's off, they could go on their Chromebooks and work. So let's try that. Let's go. I'm actually going to go back to P5, getting started. And if you read at the very top, Lauren actually talks about a P5JS web editor right here. See that? Okay, and then here it is, and you can see I have a background. Okay, what's neat to show the kids is actually right here. Actually, what's really neat to show the kids is that because I'm videoing, all right, I could actually turn the settings to dark, which I'll do right now. Some high contrast. So now you have some color coordination. So I tell the students if it's not turning color, you probably miss a semicolon or misspelling something. So spend time with that. And then I'm going to go ellipse. And then I'm going to do the same thing I started with. Actually, you know what? Let's why don't we just do that same snake? I won't do the beginning one. There's the same snake one. And I play it. And you should see here's the snake over here. Okay, web editor. And yeah, remember small circles. Actually, let's play it again. I'll stop it and I'll play it again. And so if I do small circles, it gives me the stroke. It's kind of, you know, combined together. Something looks dark, and then as I come down, I'll go wide, and now it'll give us a lighter look, so it looks 3D. So it's so cool. Kids will do that all day, change colors, everything else. But one thing that you should show them is that if you click here, it shows the project folder, and the project folder has 3 things in it: the sketch, the JavaScript file, the HTML file, and the CSS file. Now, if you're a web developer, this is very normal to see, right? You know, if you're creating a web page, you have an HTML page, starts it all, and then the CSS formats it, and the JavaScript brings some interaction. And so to show the kids these 3 files that it's really drawing from is kind of a neat way to do things. The second great thing about the web editor is you can actually log in. All right, so if you log in and just use your Google Chrome account, and you basically can save your work. So I can come in here and say, let's call this P5 sample. All right, and now it's saved, and I could actually I have to save it. So file save, and it'll save. And now if I go into my sketches, you'll see that there's my P5 example, and I could port that to any other computer. I even had the kids the other day port it to their phones, and they could run some stuff. And the last thing I'll show you today with this intro to P5 is that P5 comes with some examples already. So if you come down here and you scroll down to examples, okay, they already have some great examples ready to go, and you could really get the kids hooked by just tell them to go through, find some great examples, and run them. And so I'll run this drawing pattern here, and here's the code. You could go over the code and talk to them about the code, or they could switch the code up a little bit and see what it does. And then you hit play, and then you got different things like this and whatnot. So Lauren's done a really good job to try to appeal to artists, and I'll see a lot of the people in the class trying to see if you go slow you get small, and then as you go faster you get big ones. So I'll see people always trying to come up with something different, and it's a neat intro. So right now I just have my kids all just staying on P5 web editor because it's because everything runs in it. Okay, so yeah, that's the intro to P5, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start going through the book. Okay, yeah, there's a book that comes with it, Lauren wrote, and I'm going to start doing each chapter one by one, and then putting this up on the Code Coder channel so you can see it and run it, or have your kids watch it, or whatever. So I hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking to make you great, help you innovate, and I'll see you next time.